Here. All right. I like it. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. All right. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Thought we get a little chart session going before we get our Sig and Dapper class going. Quite the day we had. Tom. Probably another minute or so. We'll get started real quick. Look at some charts. See what looks interesting after this bloodbath that we had today. Sandy crazy kind of day. Shopify. What a death that was. Ew. What's going on, blind man? Welcome in. All right, guys. I think we can probably get started here. Very briefly. I know that Sig and Dapper have their class, so we'll be joining them in a few minutes. But thought we'd look at some uh, individual charts here, see what we can game plan for tomorrow before we head over to get some education going on with Sig and Dapper. But today was definitely some wild price action. As I pretty much look into my SPY chart, give a quick update of what I'm particularly looking at in terms of SPY here. It seems like we had that beautiful little megaphone action that we had going on for the past few days here. It's actually played out today. We had that nice little drop off that we were anticipating here for the past few days. And so you can see it's a little bit more of a structured head and shoulders type formation now, that's played out in terms of the larger scale. And so we hit the nail on the head pretty much. I had a little bit of support here right around 137.5. We hit that, took it out. We closed below it. So what I'm particularly looking at now is that either we're gonna end up getting a push right back towards 440, give us a nice little retest, or we're gonna end up continuing to go down. We'll continue to fill this wick to the downside here, 435.34. And if we end up breaking below that 435, 434 level, then I do have us coming down. My next major support level is going to be right around 430 half is what I would be looking at. Below the 430 half, then I have my next support sitting just around 429 flat will be where I have us projected to head to. So that's what I'm going to be looking at in terms of SPY. Right now, yes, it's a bloodbath. It's not something that you want to particularly be chasing in terms of the downside, mainly because of the fact that the premiums are pretty much juiced. And you heard us mentioning that on live today, is that the premiums for the put side is just insanely crazy, especially on SPY. So be cautious about that. Uh, that's why usually on the green days, that's why you want to end up trying to scale in early. Because if you trade and wait for the day where the most volatility is currently present, that's when you're going to end up getting caught in all of those high premium take the strikes. So that's what you definitely want to be aware of. But right now, if you're not in puts, it's kind of playing individual takers to the downside, or you're pretty much sideline in which you just want to watch. Because otherwise, if you're trying to play the dead cat bounces, you definitely have to time those. Very crucial that you time those like really on point. Otherwise, you get caught in the slaughtering, and that's really the issue about that. All right. So again, I'll see if we end up getting a nice little bounce here towards 440 off of this low that we put in. Otherwise, if we go below this wick low here of that 435, then we're potentially opening range down towards 430, 429, and that's going to smell trouble for us going into tomorrow. And then we do have the OPEX, which pretty much is tomorrow, in which we're going to see quite a bit of fluctuation during power hour. So be aware of that. And I mean, it's not even going to smell trouble, especially if we are pretty much continuing this decline, it's going to be even worse for us going into power hour tomorrow. So something to be mindful of. Um, Things I just continue to watch this on my personal watch list before I see if anyone wants to look at anything. But particularly looking at Tesla here, that continue to watch this one. We had the little channel formation. We broke down within also that little megaphone action. Continue to just die out. Fill this gap here below. So I'm expecting a little bit more of a continuation to the downside. I did have us retesting towards 885 area. We'll see if we get towards that 885. Otherwise, if we continue to die out, then it's going to smell more trouble and we're going to end up ranging down towards our low here, right about 847. And if I stretch out the formation here, you also notice we had a gap fill here prior, back from the end of January, in which we never completed the entire gap fill. We went 3/4 way of the gap fill and we never completed it. So that would actually complete there right around that 847 level as well. And that'll be where we likely end up taking our movement down if the market decides to continue this rollover that we have. All right. So 847 would be that mark. Otherwise, that next little level that I was watching here in particular was right around the 823 mark, which that would be a heavy sell off that would be continuing in. So right around 823 was my next level that I was watching. And then below that, you have this massive wick fill below. If the market really wanted to continue that escalation, maybe we see about a 100-point day down on tomorrow, then that would really escalate and probably put us towards this wick fill.
What's up, classroom gang? Higum inspired me. Oh, he's muted though. Got some southwestern style chicken tortilla